coming at you today in a full human starseed style. Okay, welcome to my channel. Go ahead, subscribe, like, whatever you desire. If there's something you want to hear from me, let me know in the comments as well. And so, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth here. This is take 3. 3 is the magic number. Yes, it is. And so what it comes down to is what I'm going to share with you today, and probably some stories weaved in, is the dark night of the soul. Sounds so scary. Oh my God, who would want to go through the dark night of the soul? Like, and so, as I was hanging out in Sirius on Friday, I was like, oh my God, I am so homesick. I'm telling my dog Dolly from Sirius, I'm like, I want to go home. I miss home. And then, of course, I get these things like, you chose to be here, and like, you're on a mission, and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, can I do it and not have to be human or not have to deal with human things? And they said no. And so, but what keeps coming up for me, and the message that I am supposed to be bringing as I'm if I'm slipping back into missing home or feeling homesick, not feeling like I am connected or grounded to the people around me. That comes back to me and my self-love. And when, people will ask me, like, how'd you get here? Or how did you get to where you're able to help people? And things have changed significantly. They are continually changing. And one thing, and this is the biggest reason why my message today is so critical that it comes across properly. And that is we gotta journey. We gotta go on a journey inside. And I knew this. I knew that there was something so missing, and I felt so lost and confused, not necessarily like depressed or anxious or anything like that. Like, yes, those are those things do contribute to soul searching, because it's almost like they force you in to go inside, and so it's really hard to be like, well, this was the pinnacle moment. No, actually this was, but it was this, right? And so the biggest one that I want to share with you is when I found self-love the first time. And the first time I found self-love, it floored me. I had no clue what it was. But then I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I have all the answers in me. And life is so great. And I just love to be me. And then slowly, I lost it. And damn, man, that was a really dark journey. That dark journey went to, well, if you really truly love yourself, then we got to get rid of this bullshit anxiety, which is working on the nervous system, working on the environment, mainly like literally everything that it takes to work on the nervous system. That's what I needed to do. And that is going inside, that is working on the outside, both at the same time. And so, oh man, I hit some really rough points. I even felt like I wasted a bunch of money on things. I ended up attracting a coach that I attracted her because of my shadow. And yeah, she saw the light, but she fed off of my shadow. And being in that position of like, paid this lady, I don't deserve this. But everything I know is that everything comes from me. So what did I do along the way to attract this kind of person that treated me this type of a way? And as I am free falling into having anxiety and feeling my feelings, to know that I will survive them and everyone else around me will survive them, I am also dealing with, because that itself is ascension, if you've heard of that. And so that's evolution. I'm evolving by working my nervous system. I'm evolving by working my nervous system, which deals with emotions, conditioning, bullshit stories, boundaries, my ecology. Ecology is amazing. Your ecology is based on pretty much like pre-verbal. So really learning intently about ecology, my personal ecology, and how my brain works, as well as what it takes to work the nervous system, which does take understanding and comprehending the brain as well. And it was dark, it was lonely, because I was in such a state where I knew if anyone I attracted, they would be dark, like I was, like almost melancholy, lost, confused, but continually listening to the guidance system that says, keep doing this. There is a purpose. There is a reason. There is an intention. I promise. And so with that, I just knew, and I did make sure I had a really strong support system around me, as I, what I call free fall. I was like free falling into anxiety. I didn't know what was going to happen, and what happened was not pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. What happened was like, crazy breakdowns, crazy thoughts, crazy just internal things that were going on with me. And the challenging part of all of it was I was the one who was putting myself in the situation, doing the work, and my energy was depleted. I wasn't happy-go-lucky all the time. And I had gotten to a point in that work, even though I was in the shadow, I knew I was doing the work in the shadow. I knew it. I just knew it. Because there's just this energy that just pulls you. And I remember the day that I woke up in the shadow and I was like, this is interesting. Okay. Wow. I'm not even like feeling love from my kids when I hug my kids. And if I'm not feeling love from them, then they're not, I'm not giving any love like from my heart. Like there's something disconnected here. Right? And I was like, that is not gonna happen. That is not who I am. And I'm going to make the choice to do whatever it takes at this point to clear any sort of blockage or BS stories from my past or anything like that. And so from there, because I shot off a rocket of desire that was so stinking strong, the universe could only be in my favor. It was so strong. And I love that when there's times like that in your life where you can just step back and watch yourself in the situation. And when the light bulbs go off, it's like, whoa. Okay, and so for me, part of my signature system is awareness. And so everything I'm talking about, I've created things to help others through. So that's what I was doing the whole time. That was my guidance. You're going to help other people. This is why you're here. Not everybody is as strong as you. Not everybody has this kind of courage. Not everybody has this lifestyle that allows you to physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually heal. And because of my home life, because I have an amazing husband, an amazing partner, we've been together for lifetimes, and we're together other places too, I know it. And so that makes everything fun. But it was because of that I was able to really get down to the dark, dark night of the soul, to the nitty gritty, whether that was extra sleeping, extra sleeping. I did a lot of sleeping. I just knew I would do the work and then I'd be exhausted and I would have to go to sleep. And what I would know about what occurred in my sleep is I needed to get myself out of the way to heal the way that I needed to heal. To heal the way that I sparked to the universe and said, this is what I want. Now, I was able to follow my guidance system, and then I was like in a spot similar to where I'm at right now, where I think it's just this fall time of year I get like this. And I almost get this like human battle of like, but you can't do that, but you can't do that, but you can't do that. And I like to just clean and declutter and start fresh. So I was in my office and going through my papers, And I was like, oh my God. All of the things that I've done, all of the things that I've created, all of the amazing things that I created. And how do I know they're actually amazing is because when I was in the shadow, that coach that I had told me that the things that I was doing was not going to ever make me money. Okay, I better not do it then. I mean, I paid you $15,000, like, okay. And I'm like, oh, I found it again. This is all I have to do now is get back into everything I know to get back to the place of an energy of self-love. And it was so beautiful because in that moment I was in such gratitude because I got this download that said, you had to lose it so you could find it again, so you really knew what it was. And as we are moving from I like to call it the 3D world to the 5D world, okay? Dimension, whatever. Like, for me, I think it's super easy for the human brain to comprehend. Okay, we're going from here to here. Okay. No, you're not going to a different planet. Okay? I mean, you can, but your human body is going to be here. Okay? And now, so more than ever, people are going to just be put into the dark night of the soul. Neither it's going to get really, really bad for the person, or they're going to start to go on the journey to do this work. Like, people aren't going to have the choice anymore. They're going to have to start to work on this old DNA that no longer serves us, that really does take work as our human self to work on our DNA. And that's not your freaking everyday 3D world where you don't have to do anything. Like, I'm relaxed, I'm energized. Oh yeah, so what? I drink a lot of coffee and drink a lot of booze, but I don't have to change anything. Like, oh my God, it's especially like the skinny fat person. Like, those people, that just always hurts my heart so bad because there's a silent killer that's called inflammation. And the silent killer of inflammation comes from everything that occurs in the 3D world. Every single thing. So to move past that, to evolve as humans and the human body and our genetics is going to be doing the work. And what is the work? What do you mean? Like, dark night of the soul and doing the work? Well, do you know what occurs for people when they start to put themselves first? Do you know what occurs for people when they start to do things such as self-love practices every single day? And I'm not talking about the 3D world that has the illusion of self-love. The illusion of self-love that came after COVID, which was, what are you doing for yourself? Are you working out? Are you taking a bath? Are you pampering yourself? Like, what are you doing for yourself? Sweet. We got them, right? And self-love is not any of that. if you love yourself, then you do that stuff. And so when it comes to, we have 3 stages of transformation, which there's so many more, but in the beginning, we go from behaviors to beliefs to identity. So, first, we have to find our identity. As we look for our identity, we look for it in the sense that once we find it, we're gonna lose it. Okay, that's the whole goal. Okay, find your identity to lose it. And so, in order to shift and change and evolve your identity, it starts with behaviors. And you have your belief system, which your belief system is what drives you to your behaviors. So now we have behaviors, beliefs, and identity. And if we go straight to identity, this is why I have, in my courses, this is why I teach about the brain when it comes to the human psychology of transformation and shift and change. And the number one thing is when our identity is threatened, our nervous system is like, oh, no. Change, no, we don't change. We don't know if we're safe. We're gonna stay the same, okay? So you can't just go straight to the identity because your human conditioning, your reptilian brain, does not allow for it. And that's when we start at a behavior level. We are doing the things every single day, not for a destination, not for a look, not to lose something or regain something or go back to this or anything like that. No. We step into behaviors in the sense that, okay, as I do these behaviors over time, I know that's what it's going to take to change my belief system. And as I changed my behaviors daily, my nervous system eases into my new life because it continually survives every single day that I'm doing these things. And then as your behavior changes, your beliefs change in a way of like a paradigm shift. So we have fake it till you make it or something like that, right? Like there's just like surface beliefs. And so if there's just a surface belief, there's nothing wrong with it. But we got to utilize it to shift and change our behaviors. And once we really shift and change our behaviors because we want to believe this, and as we behave in a different way, we start to believe completely different things. Now, in order to really, really have a brand new belief system to stick and stay, Then we got to do the identity work. Then we got to do the deep work. Then we got to do the DNA work. And when you get to that point, you better be freaking able to be taking care of yourself. You better be able to be in solid self-love. Solid self-love. You need solid self-love to be able to go and start to work on the identity level or the DNA level. Or you're gonna quit, or it's gonna look really, really nasty. And so this is all part of the awakening process or the ascension process. But I'm not even like, I'm just talking about you being a human and stepping up your human game. Stepping up your human game, because you have so much more potential, but you're hanging around in really crappy behaviors because of really crappy beliefs. And it's because deeply embedded in you is this identity that's not even yours, and it's really from generations past, and it's other people's thoughts and beliefs and society and systems and things like that. And you have to do the work. You have to do the work to shift and change that. You can't do the work to shift and change that unless you are able to shift and change your behaviors and your beliefs. Well, you are unable to shift and change your behaviors and your beliefs if you are not knowing what self-love is. Because in order for that stuff to really truly occur, you have to be so in love with yourself that you know if it's gonna get dark, you feel in your heart that you're safe. I know this is dark, but I know this too shall end. And when I survive this, my nervous system is strengthened, and my identity gets to shift and change. So it's so multifaceted, and so in my courses. And so I'm like, okay, now I'm getting it. Now I am able to really help people in the process, because you come to me and I teach you about how to listen to yourself for like your physical self and your body wisdom with the self-love foundation that I created, which is all about intuition, intuitively eating, intuitively being guided, especially when it gets tough, because we have acted a certain way for so long. The people around us, we've trained them for who we are, and then when we go and shift and change, whoa, shit, everything gets messed up for them. And that's the hardest part of the transformation process, is trying to maneuver that while honoring and respecting and loving the other people for exactly where they are, because you can't judge them. You were there. How you get to do it is you get to stick and stay in the game no matter what somebody else does, no matter how disappointed you make other people. And no, that's where the dark night of the soul comes from. It's painful. It hurts. It's ugly. When you gotta choose you and your boundaries, and you disappoint somebody else that you freaking love, but it's a process. And so if you dabble, that's Oh my God, that is the worst. Oh my God, I did that. I dabbled. And that was so bad. It was so bad for the other people in my life. Ultimately, like, everyone needs this type of work. Everyone needs to know about themselves. Everyone needs to know how their brain works. Everyone needs to know, not necessarily about like the mainstream 3D law of attraction that they want you to believe, but like what it really means to manifest. And then how to shift and change your thoughts on the DNA level, on an actual paradigm shift. Like you're actually shifting and changing the thoughts in your head, in your brain. And those are things that I get to teach in my course. Like I teach you about the brain. I teach you about ecology, why you do things or why you wouldn't do things, like what stops you, which is like why you cave to self-sabotage. And all of those things I'm realizing cannot be skipped. Yes, I want to teach you the chakras. Yes, I want dragons in your life. I want you to completely serious with me. You're not going to be able to do any of that unless you do these other things first. And the mainstream world will not want you to. They're going to keep telling you that's not what you do. You remember you do this. Remember you did that. Hey, I did this. Hey, I did that. They're back there. You're a starseed. You cannot look to them anymore. There is nobody back there to guide you. You gotta look in here. You have to find your magnet. You have to find your source. You have to comprehend and know the universe within you. And know that that's how you get to evolve. And finding guidance on how to get to know yourself more, how to alchemize through the dark night of the soul or the ascension process. Whew. I'm done talking. Is where it's at. And so I'm like, just because they hang out on Sirius and they don't have money over there, and I'm like, if I won their laundry, then I could just coach for free. I could coach everyone for free. I could give away my courses and things like that. And then what's coming up for me is, Brooke, you live with people in the 3D world. You give them something, they ain't gonna do anything with it. Just because you are able to help them doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. They have to be ready to help themselves, which has got me thinking, like, I gotta really increase my prices, because no matter what, there's only going to be a small amount of people that can be self-led through these things, who get to go to the next level. And as we get to go to the next level, that's what will bring other people, because we will be so abundant in love. Like, you're just guided by love. There's just so much love. You're a giant of love. Yeah, it's so much love. Oh my God. And it is possible. Anything that is available to me is available to every other single human on this earth. Whether you're a flippin' starseed or not, and the truth is there's particles in every single human that's in the stars. So we're all stars. Now, some of us are just a little bit more awake, and it doesn't take a ton to shift and change. And because a lot of us have been really working diligently on this since 2011, 2012 was when there was a huge shift. We've been putting in the work since 2012, and that's like, oh my God, 10 plus years ago, right? And so it's not going to take other people that long, because we've been putting in the work since 2012. So it won't take these people very long, and then it won't take these people very long, and then it really won't take anybody long at all, because there will be just so much love around that to not be part of this would just not exist. I don't know. All right, bye guys.